I call the meeting to order. Wendell, you have a roll call, please.
Mayor Crane,
Here.
Councilmember Schultz,
Here.
Martin,
Here.
Sayre,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Tanner,
Here.
and Attorney Powell.
Here.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Minutes stand approved.
Brad, I'd like to question the date of the meeting. Who
Okay.
scheduled the meeting for last meeting?
I did.
Okay.
I had a meeting in Indianapolis on the 6th,
Okay.
so rescheduled it for the 20th. Instead of the first Monday, it was the third Monday.
Okay. It was an unscheduled meeting. I went and talked to Taylor Powell a couple times about it. It's up to city council to schedule the
Okay.
city council meeting.
I
So
talked
it
to-
takes city council approval. In the future, I'd like to be notified before, 2 days before the meeting's canceled.
Okay. Okay. I had a meeting in, but I will give justification for it. I had a meeting in Indianapolis, and the way two of you have acted, I wasn't gonna leave anybody else in charge with what's going on.
Who, after, what are you talking about?
I'm not gonna make, you know who you are.
Okay, so that's referring to
The
me.
way
You're pointing at
the
me.
way things have gone,
With last council meeting? The council meeting before? I don't know
no,
what you're referring to.
no, over the last 8 months.
Okay. So we only hold meetings when you wanna hold the meeting, is what you're saying? It's not up to the
No.
council?
We have on the first and third Mondays,
Okay.
January,
Third,
February,
there
and
wasn't supposed
March,
to be a
we have
meeting
one
last-
meeting a month. So I rescheduled it because I had to be in Indianapolis for a meeting on the 6th.
Okay. Well, in the future, if you can't make the meeting, you need to come to the council, and the council will decide when the next meeting is.
Okay. I've talked to legal counsel at AIM.
I did too,
so-
our attorney said at the end, and that's what he directed me, so. Have meetings when people can't be here, it's just not fair to
I
everybody.
didn't know you couldn't be here, Josh.
Well, you should have, because the meeting wasn't scheduled. We had already made a motion on the council, Mr. Sayers made the motion in January to only have one meeting a month for the first 3 months.
Mhm.
Okay, so that meeting wasn't a date in my calendar. Just don't appreciate you avoiding meetings, picking and choosing when you want the meetings to be handled.
I didn't avoid the
You
meeting.
did.
Greg? Where are you, Greg?
Right.
You have anything?
No, yeah.
Okay. Tyler? Arthur Bard here?
No, they were unable to make it tonight, so
Okay,
I'm gonna be here.
okay. Bob? Bob?
Oh, the one thing I checked on the two projects that we got gonna be going on was prevailing wages. And by being state, we don't have to, the developers don't have to. Okay? Right now, that's all I got.
Okay. Brad?
I don't have anything new.
Joe?
I know we're coming right along with the restroom at the park and everything and the electrical work. Have you got anybody lined up for the big pavilion?
All I've got so far is one price on tearing off all the old roofing and roofing it with standing seam roof, and it's $30,000.
To go with metal.
Pardon?
To go with metal,
Standing seam metal,
yeah.
top and bottom, cause there's 2 layers.
Who's that contractor?
River Run Roofing, you know,
You gotta
Josh.
get 3 bids for those, or what's your goal on that?
We normally get at least 2. If it's under 150,000, we're not obliged to, but we normally get 2. I still wanna get at least one more and maybe 2, so,
Have we looked at asphalt shingle
no, no.
as a pitch, it's a good alternative, but it's what it's there
I
now.
was trying to get something that would match the roof that the last 2 we put on, so, but we can get, asphalt or metal?
Asphalt shingle would be cheaper. I mean, dude, asphalt, not quite as long, but now it is.
We can do that. Do you have anything else, Joe?
No.
Justin?
Do we have anybody to run the pool this year yet?
We have one applicant so far, so.
I don't know anything about pool passes or anything like that.
No, hopefully we can, we advertised again, so hopefully we'll have more applicants.
It does remind me, we have a park caretaker at this point.
We, Cal Webster, that was the assistant, is taking over that.
He's not gonna do it again,
Chris? No. He's helping his wife work, so. So I have a lady cleaning the restrooms, Marty Hankins, her husband Todd Hankins will be, doing some mowing. So, and Tyler's, guys can also help do some mowing. So right now, I think we're pretty good. Anything else, Justin?
That's all I have.
Josh?
City vacancies, openings, the street department, is there a couple openings there?
There is. I'm gonna be hiring Casey Smith,
Okay,
and,
so we're putting ads and seeking to get help.
pardon?
We're getting help, looking to get
Yes,
help.
we need pretty good there. We need, the guys are doing pretty good, but, like to advertise for electrical superintendent. Cause they don't,
When's Clint's last day?
2 weeks ago,
He's done this.
yeah,
Okay,
he's done. They've replaced, a couple transformers, put a pole in at boys' baseball concession. We removed the pole that was in front of the restroom, so, they're doing pretty good.
how soon are you gonna be looking to put an ad to find a replacement?
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime you're gonna decide to write it and post an ad to hire somebody, or?
I thought you were gonna write it.
I don't know how I got, I think I'm writing an ad for, I'm a journeyman lineman.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
a municipal lineman.
Okay,
So planting trees and doing the things these guys, I mean,
I can have somebody through IMPA write an ad.
I mean, that's what we should have did. I mean, it's going on 2 months since he's told you he's quitting. Why aren't we trying to replace him?
I thought that you were gonna write one.
I don't know where you would've got that. I didn't tell you that. You didn't even ask me that.
Somebody told me that.
Well, it wasn't me.
Okay. Is that all you had, Josh?
At this time.
Does anybody else have anything?
I'll go, just they did address my alley. They, when the last meeting, I asked about getting it graded off, and it was promptly done and topped, so looks good, holes are filled. Attaboy for your workers there, thank you.
Thank you.
And my whole neighborhood, thanks you, because it's
Thank
not
you.
just mine, so.
Good,
Yep,
Anytime.
good.
yep, looks good. Corner of Johnson and Fifth, it looks like, there's like temporary curbs, some that have been out there forever, the big chunks of concrete was drug out in the street. One of the neighbors said that they thought that like street sweeper had drug it out, just.
Oh, really?
Somebody's ran the
You
skid
seen
steer
it?
up and slide it back up in place, or, you know what I'm talking
I'll
about?
probably just do away with them if they're loose. So,
They're not mine, don't matter to me. It's been sticking out there, so I can't believe
after the
somebody.
meeting, I'll wrap her look at it.
I can't believe somebody's ran over it yet, but it reminded me when I came down
It's
here.
the first I heard about it, but we'll get it taken care of.
Yeah, skid steer slide right back on. I don't know what they looked like they were forms or something, somebody used as curbs, so.
Tyler, there's a small section over there on Third Street, just off of Liberty and Third. It's on the southwest corner, on the Third Street side. It's probably no bigger than that, but it's sticking out, right, knocked loose.
Street sweeper kinda knocked it loose, he's been sweeping a lot lately, so
More than likely from when that is, probably a plow hit it.
probably, okay, we'll get it taken care of.
Okay, appreciate it.
Sand volleyball? What's our update on that?
They're, doing the electric right now.
Uh-huh.
Yep, and, Scott, you be putting gravel in next week, stone?
Oh, there.
Okay, great. And sand to follow. Good. Anybody else? Brian?
Yeah. I'd just like to start off by saying that I just wanna clear up, any misconceptions that, about our two developments. Both of our properties, which we have the Covington Hills, which is the wooded ground down from the old Maple Corner there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also own the ground, which is called Whispering Willows, which is behind Powell's Building Center. Both pieces of property are annexed into the city, always have been, they're in the city limits. I've got copies of what the city limits are here, and it even shows your silo development, and then the ground to the north of it is now added to that. So everything in blue is in the city limits, if anyone would like to have a copy of this. Okay, so what we would like to do, now last week, we had the Whispering Willows development that you kinda said it needed to be engineered in order to be approved. So right now, it's not engineered, what we were told back,
It's really not us.
It's
Well-
them,
Uh,
it's them.
It's-
yeah, we just found that out though, just this
Ready
past
to
week.
people.
Yeah, yeah,
They'll be
I was gonna
in
say,
there.
it's really not the city, it's the, you know.
Okay, so does the city require, that to add like a subdivision, does it have to be engineered for the city specs?
It would have to be engineered, so it could be bid out.
He's talking about for the addition to your subdivision, are you not? Isn't that what I just heard?
The addition to.
Aren't you asking
is-
about the additional
I think what
lots?
he's trying to ask is it a requirement for the city, or is it a requirement strictly for the grant?
It'll be a requirement for the grant, Brooks, to be able to, for bidders to come in.
So it's
to
not a
look at.
requirement for the city itself?
You know,
Cause it never has been in the past, that's why I'm kinda curious about that.
we got ours engineered because otherwise we wouldn't know how deep to put the manholes if it wasn't engineered with elevations. So,
But if you're asking about the addition to your original subdivision, that's a whole different situation.
Yeah, well, that
No.
addition, go ahead.
it's not, the original is not engineered. He doesn't have any
Yeah,
elevation.
that needs to be done, but I thought he was saying something about his
No,
additional
what,
lots too.
we did everything at the time that we was required to do. We had it platted and surveyed, didn't have it engineered, cause that was not one of the requirements, to get our 20 lots approved, okay? So those have been approved, the
Right.
20 lots. To get an additional 10 lots, I talked to Deckard Engineering and Surveying, and they said that we would have to go ahead and kind of redo a lot of the things that we've done. I mean, everything will stay the same as far as how the original 20 lots were, but they would, to do, like the waste, or not the wastewater, the stormwater, that would have to all be kind of re-engineered. So they said they could get that done in 62 days from when I tell them, go for it. So that would still be done before the June 30th deadline. So. the other thing-
62 days?
Yeah,
I had them, Deckards do 3 lots last year for Ryan Sowers, and it took them 3 or 4 months just to draw the points.
well,
With no
I've
engineering.
got a statement in here saying 62 days, Brad.
Here, Brian, I have this for you.
What is it?
It's the points that you gave us last meeting. I filled out what the city needed to fill out.
Well, I've already got it all filled out. So I've turned in for both of our subdivisions there.
Okay,
So I already filled that out, and that's already turned into them.
okay, so you got the wastewater permit number and the public
Yeah.
water system ID?
Yeah.
Okay,
So both of those have been turned in, okay? So what we would like to do now, we'd like to add, our 13.25 acre Covington Hill development, to resolution 2023-1 to be included for the READY grant. So it has already been, this is the community action ground there that we now own, okay?
Steve probably knows about that, he was there, had it
Yeah.
done.
So it's already been engineered, it's been surveyed, it's been platted, and it was approved back in 2008.
Okay,
And we have the engineering drawings, with us here, if anybody would like to see those. I think all of you pretty much have already seen those.
Well, I think Bob's seen them.
I have.
Joe, I think you were on the board then. I think you just started.
Well, I went around, I talked to everybody on the city council though, and just to let them know that we have this other development. And, so like I said, we do have the drawings and stuff here with us, if anybody like to see it.
Brian, you remember 3 months ago what I said? I said, I think there's enough money to get both of us started. Not to finish both of them, but get both started. Steve knows that 375,000 won't go very far on Covington Hills, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the exact numbers we had drawn up on that. but
Somebody said it was gonna be 300,000 to do the clearing and dirt work.
I think it was less than that because Swingle's bid came in under that, Mark Swingle's.
Yeah.
I would have to be able to pull the records
Sure,
up to find out.
but it's
what
been
those-
14 years, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I don't know,
so,
yeah.
But that's where we'd have to get bids and see where we're really at on all
Yeah.
of it too, though, correct?
Has that subdivision been approved? It has.
What?
That subdivision he's talking about.
we probably approved it back
Back in.
years ago.
2000.
Yeah,
2000.
2008.
Yeah, cause I was using federal and state dollars to do that project, everything had to pretty much, had the stamps on it before I could even go any farther with it, so. Okay.
So I guess I'm unsure, Brian, what you're getting at.
Well, so you're saying our other property has not been engineered, okay? So if it's a requirement that it has to be engineered, we would assume go with this one that has been engineered, so it won't hold anything up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's where the city council would have to vote on that.
Well, I think it's gonna have to go through Ready, through Greater Lafayette Commerce and Ready.
I would think you'd have to find out whether part of that Ready grant is for clearing too. I mean, I know Swing will come in with a bid, on clearing that out there, and that's kinda when it stopped. After that bid come in, for some reason it stopped it. That
Well,
was
why did it
kinda
stop
something
though?
Well, we stopped because of the expense of, the requirement for the city roads and streets. The city of Covington's regiment for city roads and streets
Right.
is as high as it is for the state highway for Indiana. Why we have that overkill in this town, I don't know. Most small towns,
a-
it's nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But because of that, that threw me out of possible development. Plus, in 2008, the housing market took a dive.
Yeah.
And between the two, because part of that was gonna be for affordable housing, some of that was gonna be for profit housing.
Yeah. And how many lots are there, Steve?
All together, I think there's 26, but we were only gonna use 24.
Okay.
But, it's all pinned and everything, I never had it recorded
Mm-hmm.
for property tax purposes, I just wanted, since it was in the city limits, it was a lot cheaper to pay the property taxes on 13.5 versus 26 lots.
But you don't pay property taxes anyway?
They did, oh no, we did, we paid property taxes on that.
You did?
Yeah, they made us pay property taxes because it was not a
A
developed.
federal government project?
Yeah, the state, it was a state project, but yeah, because it actually wasn't a state project yet, we paid taxes. I can pull up tax records and we paid them, we're still, paid them till they sold them, so yeah. But yeah, a lot of people think that, no, CAT doesn't pay taxes, but on some properties we do, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, everybody says it's a free project, it's not.
Yeah.
The state Ready grant wouldn't pay for lots, only for that.
No, I mean, all that study cost us a little over $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
But that was forgiven, because that was a grant, which I had to have everything pre-approved, but it was forgiven when I showed them the feasibility study on all the costs for the infrastructure and everything else, and the housing
Sure.
market, the way it crashed, and I wasn't gonna put a project together
Right.
I didn't think it was gonna fly.
Right.
I didn't want to spend anybody's tax dollars that I couldn't make it work.
Yeah,
And that's why I did what I did, that's why I backed it out.
yeah.
So, but it was all engineered and it was,
You
you guys,
You had estimates, didn't you?
I did, I had estimates on everything. you know,
How much was it gonna be?
I don't wanna throw numbers out because
Yeah.
I'm 66 and I've slept
Yeah.
a few nights since then. I don't wanna be like somebody said, oh, no, it was this much, no.
Right.
But, you know, I did my due diligence, and I
Yeah.
know I worked with you guys, and, yeah, I've worked with Bob a lot, I worked with Todd Fiddler a lot, I worked with, like I say, all the board members, pretty much, it was gonna be happening how it was gonna happen. But, you know, like I say, I personally think that the town needs to relook at the streets code and more adjust to other small town communities.
Well, some of it, for the asphalt streets, they wanted, I think, 9 to 12
It was
inches.
more like 18 or something.
Oh, well, that'd be-
Bedrock underneath it, and it's
I
like
didn't-
state highway code.
When John Woodrow extended Ocean Drive up there, the specification for 9 inches of base, 2 different types of material, and then 2 different layers of asphalt. You had a binder put down, and then you had 1.5 inches, I think it was 1.5 inches of surface put over the top of that. Those are our specifications for building roads,
Mhm.
or streets in town. Those all come from Orchard Drive, when Ernie Johannes
Right.
wrote those specs up.
Yeah, it's overkill, there's a lot of overkill.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah. But that does kill a lot of
Yeah,
development
yeah.
projects with that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah,
Cause those are our own tax dollars too, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, that's true. Right, I don't know what to say right now.
Well, so yours is a go and ours is not then, is that what you're saying?
Ryan, you keep.
I'm asking.
Oh. I didn't say that. You put words in my mouth.
But we need to get bids, correct? The city council needs to get
The
bids?
city will have to get bids.
Okay,
Now,
when's that gonna start?
if you get 375,000, assuming, the city council votes and we're gonna, we have 47 lots and you have whatever it is, 24. If we split the money and say you get 375,000 and it costs you $750 to develop it, you're okay with putting 375,000 more into it, correct?
I would like to see what we have into it. Yeah, I mean, do you know what yours is gonna be, everything?
Well, I feel like, I do.
Have you got estimates and bids
Yeah,
yet?
I estimated it myself.
And for how much?
Huh?
For how much?
I don't
That's
have.
not, that's
I don't have the
business
figures
deal.
here.
I don't need to know all your business, we need to know ours for.
We're asking for public
Scott,
money.
We are
just
approved.
asked- he just
We
asked
are
the same
approved,
question,
right?
Scott.
He asked me the
We
same
are
question.
approved
Just
by
ask
the
the same
grant,
question.
that's it.
Well,
No,
my
I
next
told
question
you.
as far as being approved for the grant money, is, once you guys, either one of you send that in to the Ready Grant people, when is this council gonna be notified that you are ready, or Brian's ready? So that we can start taking bids on 1,000 feet of water line, 1,000 feet of sewer line?
I don't even think you take the bids, I think the developer takes the bids and presents them to you.
That's not what was said.
No, that's.
Okay, well then I guess you
I
guys
thought
should
so
take,
too.
okay, so you can take
Yeah,
bids.
I thought so too.
I think
but
the
asked
city
that-
does because it is federal dollars.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is federal dollars.
Yeah, Chris said that it had to be the city that got the
Yeah,
bids.
it's federal dollars administered by the state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But invitations for bidding wouldn't be sent out until after it was already approved for the grant, right?
right,
Right.
yeah.
It sounded like Brian was asking for it before anything was sent in.
But when we get notification that either one of them has been approved, then we can go ahead and proceed with advertising for bids. Per your
Yes.
prints,
That's correct.
But we've got to be notified from the Ready Grant people that whatever the name of that is, Shiloh, or whichever one he's gonna develop, has met the qualifications or all the criteria that they're asking for. We've got to know that.
Yeah.
We've got to know that before we can advertise for bids on it.
Yeah, they have to approve it.
Yeah.
The IEDC has to approve it.
Yeah, and then I assume they let us know that you've been approved, he's been approved.
Yeah.
Until that time, we can't even advertise out there for bids
No.
per your print.
Right.
Or his, either one.
So for clarification, then, when you get approved by the grant people,
is that when you sign on the line that you're gonna go ahead with it? Or is there some,
Yeah, you have to sign a contract with the IEDC.
and that happens before you start getting bids?
Oh, yeah, that happens before.
So
And,
you
you
won't
know,
have any idea.
you wanna have a
what
pretty
you're
good
gonna have in
idea
it
what it's
till
gonna
after you
cost.
sign on the
because-
contract that you're gonna finish it.
Exactly, because there's no backing out at that point, because if we took bids and some of the infrastructure was put in and you didn't finish it and come up with money, the IEDC is gonna be after you or us to pay back the original $375,000.
This is a reimbursable grant.
Yes, yes,
In other words, say it proceeds and the city gets a bill from Joe Blow that putting in 1,000 feet of water line, and that's presented to this council. Okay, the city is gonna pay it.
yes,
The city funds will pay it.
Right.
And from that point, it goes to them and they reimburse us for whatever that bill is.
right,
That's the way it's gonna be.
right. The contractor will put the water lines in and bill the city.
Right.
We will submit that bill to the state. Once it's approved, then the state will give us the money to pay the contractor.
So we don't have to pay it out of city funds.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Does,
No,
but don't you guys have to match some of those funds?
no.
The city
No,
It
doesn't
is,
match
it
any?
is not a not a matching grant.
Okay.
Brad, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So the term engineering can mean two things, where you as a developer, you've sent it off to an engineering firm, they've engineered the ground, saying, hey, the groundwater, we want retention ponds, whatever the case may be, or the term engineering can mean you've actually been out there, done the dirt work, dug the ponds and actually engineered it. Which term do they mean here?
Well, in our case, they've been out there, they've done all the elevations, shot all the elevations.
But what you had is,
Just for the sewer line.
it said shovel ready, so in my opinion, that means bulldozers have been in, ground has been cut,
That's
retention
post-shovel.
ponds have been put in.
That's post-shovel, Josh.
We don't have
Shovel ready
retention
means you're ready
ponds,
to do that.
because our stormwater will drain to a natural waterway.
Nothing's broken ground at that point on shovel ready.
Yeah.
You just have to have the engineering drawings that shows the elevation, the depth of the pipe, this kind of stuff, which is.
Where your runoff's gonna go, where it's gonna catch, if you need it, yeah.
The other thing I would request, since Brian brought it up, I think the city council ought to make it to where any subdivisions that go in Covington have to have engineered plans in the future, because I have dug for the last 40 years all over Covington, and I've been to see Bob, I've been to see Kendall, and you know, anybody else, and a lot of times, what do we say? Have no clue where it's at.
No.
Because there's no drawings.
Yeah.
And when you get done with engineered plans, Shiloh can turn those into the city and they can put them in a safe place. And then 40, 50 years, if somebody's gotta go up there and dig, they can roll them plans out. There's all the right of ways, there's where the utilities are at, there's the depth they are, and you're not tearing everything up like I've unfortunately done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to just put it in, but it's easier to just put it in, but somebody down the road's got a mess.
So it's all of the Shiloh, it's all gonna be GPS geolocated.
We'll probably put it on GIS once we're done, when we have the as-bills, you know, if something varies, then we'll note it on the plans, and it'll be on GIS.
So are your Shiloh plans viewable to the public now? Is that something I can see?
We have, you know, I have a roll that big.
That's a yes? Viewable?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I don't know, why do we have to show them to the public? We've got them, we've been approved by the grant
Yeah.
people.
I'd show them to Josh.
Shouldn't they
just
be
like-
at least
I mean, I
show
don't
the city
care, but I just
council?
can't
I mean,
get over how
Shoney's
much our business are.
Shoney's are being transparent, open, showing what they're proposing, right? As a council member, I would like to see something. I mean, you guys have come with a tip to come, and that's great. It's great to have the development, but wouldn't you want us to know what we're actually voting on?
It's going to the city council, correct?
Yeah, and we're expected to vote on it, yet I have not seen one
I don't
stitch
know
of
if
paper
you're, I don't even know if you're expected to vote on it.
No
Grant
stitch of
is gonna
paper.
give the money.
to the city council, and the city
And the
council will
city,
decide.
the grant people gave the money to the county
That's what Brooke
commissioners.
said.
County commissioners. That's where it went.
and then the
The
commissioners
county
give it to the
commissioners
city of
probably
Covington.
got as much say in
Here,
it as
here.
anybody.
Here. There's Brian's,
That's all out.
and here's ours.
Well, it's nice to actually put eyes on it.
I've had them out here before.
And here's ours. Covington Hills. I got everybody's name on them, so I would like to get them back if I could.
Is that the new one we're talking about, Covington Hills, Brian?
Pardon?
Is that the new one, where Community Action Hills, Covington?
Yeah.
I will show anything we have. Here's what frustrates me. Brian has owned this property for 20 years. He had it platted off 8 years ago, sold one lot. The city ran water and sewer onto the property, put a manhole in. The last 2 years, Brian has spent more time trying to kill Scott and I's project. We're just trying to develop in Covington because
No.
there's hardly any, because there's hardly any lots to buy. And when we went to the school, and Jason knows it, and to the city to try to get a TIF district, it's no different than a grant, only we have to put forth all the money on a TIF district. All we're trying to do is make Covington better. Brian has been to every TIF meeting here or the school to talk us down to kill our project.
I haven't said anything hardly in any of those meetings.
Okay,
Why would you be against Covington Hills then?
I didn't say I was, Graham. I'm saying 3 months ago, I said, I think there's enough you guys came in ready to fight. I said, I think there's enough money to do both of them, didn't I, Pam? Did I say that?
One thing
Pam?
about.
Did I say that? You were here 3 months ago, and
One thing about this grant, they put a deadline on it, December of 26 on this infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, anybody that's gonna be getting any of this grant money have got a deadline to use it. They ain't gonna be sitting there.
they're not getting grant money, Bob. It's a reimbursable
I
grant.
know, but I mean, but you're gonna be using, but you got a deadline to use it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And if you don't finish your project, if Scott and I don't finish it, if it takes another 500,000, we have to put it in ourselves,
Exactly.
or we have to pay back
That's what that-
everything that's put in. And you'll sign a contract on that, and we will too. So, I don't wanna fight, I just wanna try and, get this done.
Bob, Joe, either you guys wanna see this or anyone else, I saw it, so
I've already seen it.
thanks for letting me see it.
Sure. Does anybody else have anything? Butch,
What about the truck that I brought up last month?
I'm sorry,
The truck?
the truck at 10th and Harrison, Taylor, 10th and Harrison, there's a truck. Did the police tag it?
That's what I had in the minutes of the police officers, we're gonna look into it, but none of them are here to answer that, so.
Does it make any difference if it's on the street or in the driveway?
No, not if it's not licensed,
Okay.
Dwayne.
It's licensed,
It is like a current license?
Illinois,
Current tag.
probably not.
Yeah, I think they were supposed
Walk up
to
there
check
and look
it.
at it.
Yeah.
It's not very attractive.
And Fourth and Park is another one that has 2 trucks and that, so.
He made it a tent, I saw.
Pardon?
He made it a tent.
Where?
Down by the park, he put something back and put tarps over
I
it.
know.
Now he's got cans laying.
And one's not even a full
Cans, yeah.
truck. You seen it?
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll check that, Butch.
I just wanted to lighten it up.
Anybody else have anything? Nicole?
The hill leading to my property is completely gone. I can't even get access to it anymore, and
Okay.
I have a picture, and this time I am showing it,
I-
what I've been dealing with. It's completely gone.
Pardon? Over the hill from the electric department? No, because that's other property down there. And-
No, that hill is not my property.
I said it's our property.
Yeah, it can be blacktop.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
there
it's
are
our
no
property
companies
and, you know, it's in the floodplain.
Fish.
You can't build anything down there.
What is she wanting us to do?
Nicole, can you come in on Water Street
No,
or Canal?
no. No, it's.
Oh, you don't live here,
It's completely
do
grassed
you?
over, you're talking about the alley, Canal
Yeah.
Street? It's complete grass and trees are hanging over it, I'm not gonna drive my vehicle down there.
Okay,
So if we gravelled that Canal Street and that alley, could you use that?
I could, but could I get
Here's the
my
deal.
trailer and stuff out of there?
That'd be up to you, I mean,
Well,
I'm not responsible for getting stuff here, get your trailer out there, but.
yeah.
no, what I'm saying is, like,
Because
you
you're
guys
supposed to
sit up
revisit
here and you're talking about.
Nicole, I'm sorry. The trailer that was supposed to have been out last June,
No, I don't have to move a camper that belongs to me
Okay.
off my own property.
okay. You wanna just leave it there?
I mean, I can do, it's my property, can I not have, I don't tell people that they can't have their
Yeah.
campers on their property
Yeah.
here in town.
Well, he's giving you an option to be able
I'll
to
tell
come
you,
in.
we will gravel Canal Street, and trim the trees back if that will work for you.
I mean, you can try it.
I mean, you realize that hill going down to your property is, you know, it washes out and there's just not much.
That's
more
what
to
I'm
do.
saying, why can't you blacktop it?
Because
It was used
It's been
For
blacktop
years.
for years.
Well, I understand, but that's definitely a lot, so.
to do it.
But here's the deal, here, I'll come down, we'll gravel Canal Street, we'll trim the trees, and I'll get with you and we'll see if we can make a plan, I'll be down there tomorrow.
What's her access?
Will you be around?
We'll bring her in down on Canal Street with gravel.
Sure, but I'm still gonna ask for your guys' street that is access to my property, because you have electrical poles through there,
Sure.
or it's
Canal
hard.
Street, same thing needs mentioned, yep.
Okay, so, you know,
You can go out to Crockett Street.
Crockett Street, how many electrical poles will I have to pull around? That's a pretty tight turn.
So I understand that, but that's why
Nicole,
I'm willing to work with
can
you.
you be down there tomorrow?
What time?
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I mean, you guys sit up here and you're talking about how you want to make Covington a nice place. Well, why don't you take care of what is already here instead of worrying
Nicole,
about your.
you can't live down there because it's in a floodplain.
I'm not living down
I
there.
know, it's in a floodplain.
How do you leave your trailer down there if it's in a floodplain? Has it ever gotten up to it?
No,
Nicole, if you could stay after me, I might get your phone number.
I'll give it to you right now.
I will do it after me.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna have to hire a lawyer.
Yeah, we would still like to have that added to that resolution 2023-1 for the Covington Hills subdivision.
You would like Covington Hills instead of Whispering Willows?
Yes.
You wanna replace what you already got?
Yeah, since it's already been engineered, let's go with that.
Okay, so you wanna remove Whispering Willows and put Covington Hills in, right?
We have to check and see if we can do it. Have you talked to her anymore about this?
Chris's last day was March 31st.
So did
She
you
was
tell her
very,
about
very
this?
helpful. Do what?
Have you told her about this before she retired or quit?
Like I told you before, we have turned in the paperwork, all the questionnaires and all that for
Mhm.
both developments.
Okay,
So they have both of them right now.
Okay,
The only thing they don't have is your engineering drawing, they don't have those yet?
Yes, they do not have those, correct.
He's saying he's got it for Kennington Hills, so he wants to swap.
Yeah.
And so we don't bounce back and forth, I have no problem making a motion to
Amended.
amend it pending approval by the state.
yeah, it's gotta be approved by the state.
pending
So
approval by
we're
the
not gonna-
state.
Yeah.
We
Because
don't need to.
But that way we don't have to keep going back and
we
forth.
we don't have to do anything though.
Until it's approved by
Yeah,
the state.
yeah.
I was just trying to figure out how to skip the step of state.
Are you gonna be submitting that, Brian?
Submitting what,
Any-
the
anytime.
drawings?
Yes,
Yes,
okay,
yeah, I will this week.
okay. Anybody else have anything?
Does that have to go up for a vote or anything like that, or is that?
No,
Okay.
we voted on it twice, so.
The amendment is what I'm referring to.
No, not now, Brooks. Anybody else have anything? Meeting's adjourned.